Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sam Just Wants to. I'm Sam, and I just want to build in The Sims 4. Specifically, I'd like to build an apartment kind of inspired by the organic modern interior design. I'm using a lot of stuff from the Dream Home Decorator pack to achieve the look I'm going for, specifically the modular shelving and furniture. I really enjoyed building this, so I think now I'll just take you through it. So I'm essentially making a family apartment for two parents and a teenage daughter. And I really like thinking of a story when I make apartments. Usually like to characterize or have an idea of who the characters are that are going to live there. Because I feel like homes are a reflection of our personality, right? So what I did with the floor plan was I just made two bedrooms, which are connected by one bathroom. I kind of split the main area into a like an entryway and the slash dining space. It's mostly open floor plan when it comes to the common areas, but I did just want to section off this kind of odd space and also give everyone a little bit more privacy because this is an apartment and the entry door, which we cannot change in the game, is well it's got windows on it. So even though you could see one of the bedroom entrances, I think it was best to kind of just keep it low key. And I also made a sort of alcove over in the corner, like where between the two bedrooms. So right now I'm just making the kitchen, and I wanted to go for like really light wood tones around the apartment, kind of following that, what's it called, organic modern interior design style, with wood tones and kind of bringing in nature into the house. But I also wanted to keep it pretty simple and like mostly elegant. So that's what I'm going for with the common space and, well, I guess most of the space. So as you can see, I'm already using a whole lot of Dream Home Decorator. I feel like a lot of people didn't like this pack, but I really like it. Mostly for the build buy. I just love this style. I think it's so versatile, and I think it's just really pretty. But the cabinets are a particular problem. I can't believe they still aren't fixed, but actually I can believe it because Seasons is still broken in my game. Yeah, how we used to be able to like get super rich off gardening? I have not been able to do that for years because of Seasons Pack. And it's been how long since it came out? Anyway, as for this pack, I really enjoy playing with it, mostly for the decor, or sorry, the build buy, but every now and then I'll make an interior designer sim and just fiddle around with building the world, um, kind of with a story gameplay element. Because, normally I could just rebuild everything the way I want to, but I think that career kind of puts a new twist on it. I pretty much enjoy that gameplay. But that aside, for this build, um, it's just the furniture is a central part. So as you can see, I've kind of, laid out a plan of where things are going to go. And right now I'm struggling with a media display because of the window and the placement of everything. I also I also wasn't sure, I'm still not sure if that wall height was necessary in this apartment. Um, but I worked with it. I eventually just decided not to make a media center because it was just way too big and too awkward. So I just left it with, this very simple little layout. And here I'm kind of decorating the alcove. I considered going with a fireplace, but I thought it would be better to not do that. Just so I could bring in some more of the wood across the build of the common area. And I think with this little space next to the kitchen island counters, I think what I did there is just kind of extending the living room, even though it's not exactly what you would do to do that. And normally you would just make it bigger. I just thought to like kind of join the living room to the kitchen somehow, and kind of make the transition a little less stark. But here I'm bringing in the houseplant element of the organic modern design. And I will do that quite a few times in the build where I just, put plants in places. It's kind of fun though, because when it comes to this kind of organic modern interior design, gosh, that is a mouthful. When it comes to that interior design, I feel like plants are important to it, but it's also important not to do too many. Sometimes I like to build things with so much stuff, and a lot of houseplants all in one spot and all around the place. But with this one, I actually had to show a little restraint. But I'm glad I got to get those elements in there, and it kind of makes the plants a feature rather than, a theme, I guess. So I'm just changing the bricks here, and I think I'm about to move on to the bedrooms after this. But yeah, I really struggled with finding the right brick because I wanted something that didn't look like super dirty, but also looked really, organic. Like it's seeing some things. And I think that really grounds the modern element of this house so that it doesn't feel like a hospital or something. So, anyway, I also really like plaster and brick. I think there's quite a few design styles and just architectural styles which incorporate both plaster and brick. I think probably because it's, easier. Because I think plaster you just slap on top of brick, and I think that shows in the texture that we even have in The Sims 4. Like you can kind of see where there might be bricks underneath, and I think some swatches of plaster do have bricks peeking through. But I've always loved it. And so I actually got this idea for the shelving and desk in the entryway from, believe it or not, an Airbnb I went to one time. And they had these beautiful built-in shelves and a little study in the entryway. And I just thought it was so cute and cozy. But it was also I guess chic would be the word. I'm not sure, but I really liked it. So I kind of incorporated that here, instead of adding couches or seating, I just, put a desk. And I think because there are going to be 3 Sims in this house, I think it was a good choice because we're only going to put one desk in each bedroom, and then one person would be kind of pushed out. But they would have their own study space in the entry. So here I'm just working on the bathroom, and I normally wouldn't put so much effort into the bathrooms, but as you can see here, I use the movement sheets or the workarounds to put clutter on the counters. I don't normally do that, but I wanted it to look a little bit more lived in just because the build is so modern. I kind of wanted to make it look a little bit more human because I feel like with modern designs, you really run the risk of it looking, like I think I mentioned before, like a hospital. So I added some clutter on the counters and actually used the movement workarounds to place that clutter. As you can see, we're moving on to the parents' bedroom. I have already taken some liberties with the design and changed up the color scheme a little bit, just by changing the wood tone, which I wouldn't really mix wood tones, but in this separate room, you kind of have a little bit more freedom if you can ignore the door. But I think I made it work just by changing the paint and really putting this wood tone in like all over the room. So I kind of made like a little closet area, sort of, and joined it with the desk so that one parent can work in this room on their computer. And I'm also like taking in earthy tones to sort of continue the organic modern design element. I think I really wanted this room to look cozy more than anything, and I think it kind of took on a sort of Japan-y vibe because Dream Home Decorator, like these built-in shelves and all the wood tones and the earthy tones really support that kind of style too. I momentarily tried to do the bench hack, but I forgot how to do it, so I was like, whatever, I'll just put a bench. Um, so that's what I did. I really like it. I think it looks cute. I think it's a good place for like people to put on their shoes. Of course we don't really do that in The Sims, but imagination, role playing, that's what we do. So yeah, then I'm just cluttering it up. I put a camera on the top. I had a momentary thinking moment where I was like, what if the mom was like super into photography, but like it was like an impulsive hobby. I have a lot of those. And she just like forgot about it. And mostly because she put that up there. But anyway, I just put a little runner and then I'm working on the paint color, and then I think I'll add an end table or like an accent table right there. I'm not sure if I do that now or later. And then I'm just working on the lighting. I want it to be like really cozy, like ambient lighting kind of. Like I said, being cozy and comfortable was kind of the focus for this room. Then I just add some curtains. I'm not happy with the curtain choices I was left with for this window, but I think I made it work. Even in real houses, sometimes you just gotta make it work somehow. So I'm working on forgiving myself for that. Okay, and then I just move on to the teenage girl room. I will say I probably made a teenage girl because I'm really excited for the high school pack that's coming out. Really, really excited to play with it. I actually have quite a few teens in my world now just because I'm like, oh, I don't want to play the teens lifespan until until high school comes out. And then here I go making some more teens that I won't play with for a while until the pack comes out. But yeah, for this room, I wanted it to be, cozy and a little bit more mature. Normally with teenagers, I would love to put like posters all around, some gamer lights, stuff like that. But I kind of imagine this girl to be like, not like that, you know, just like a super studious, kind of girly girl, I guess we would say. I think that's kind of an outdated concept, but it is what it is. We all understand what I'm talking about. We've all lived through it. Anyway, I'm adding a vanity, and I really, really wish we had better swatches on these vanities. Um, let's see, what pack did those come from? It was like, it wasn't luxury party. It was vintage something, vintage glamour maybe. I'm not sure. But yeah, I bought that pack for the vanity tables and then just never used them. But, it was like, I had a lot of extra money at that time. I think it was like after a birthday when I was like still receiving money for birthdays, around that age. And I was like, oh, I'll just buy this because there weren't very many packs available at that time. But at least we got Butlers, which I also don't use very often at all. Anyway, bad choices aside, I kind of went with a pastel blue color scheme here, just because it feels neutral but also feels like color. And I'm just making her desk. I will eventually put some custom content clutter here, just because we don't have like very much school type clutter. And yeah, working on the vanity too, really just trying to make the space look lived in, or like it belongs to someone. I really struggled with the lamps for a crazy amount of time. I'm not sure why. I feel like I was looking for that particular lamp right there and just kept getting it confused with other ones. But yeah, I found some CC clutter for like textbooks, so kind of tried to pick like, textbooks that everyone would have so that I can decide her personality later. If I put an art and music one down, then I might, be inclined to make a artistic or musical sim, but, just left it. And then I just kind of readjust the wall art because there was like a corkboard there. I don't think it would look good to see it repeated, especially on the same wall. I really love that painting from City Living. All those swatches are so pretty, and it's such a neutral canvas. I wish we had more like that. Also, wish we had more rugs. I feel like a lot of our rug choices are really limited, but we try our best. And then get back to the bedroom and keep adding decorations and clutter, carrying a lot more of the organic modern design into this room than I did with the parents' room. So I feel like this room is a little bit more congruent with the style. But I also still love the parents' bedroom just because it looks so cozy. So yeah, just adding some storage boxes, imagining that they're filled with school papers, and eventually I'll put some of those unorganized papers on the top of the shelf over there. So like in my head, this teenage girl sim is like really studious, and like that's her thing for now, is just focusing on school. But she also, tries to be clean, but everything is just so busy for her. So that's kind of how I've characterized her through this room, that she's just very, very busy. So now I'm just adding the finishing touches, and I'm going to speed through that, and I'll meet you back at the end. And we are finished. I really enjoyed building this and making a cute little family to enjoy this cozy space. Thank you so much for watching my first video on this channel, Sam Just Wants To. This will be a bit of a variety channel, and it's kind of in the name, but I will be featuring a lot of The Sims 4 on here, so just stay tuned. Thanks again, and have a good one.